switched when I logged on to this. Yeah. Turn it off there. Should be going now. Facebook's on.
It's been too long. We
What's
forgot
up,
how to-
Greg?
to
What
do
do we
this.
say? I don't forgot what we
Hey,
say. It's been
friendos.
So,
What'd you
yeah.
say?
Yeah, hello, folks.
Friendos?
Hey, Bear.
That's
What's going on, man? It's
Nateland.
been over a month. When's the last time we did? We did it with Paul last time,
Yeah.
and that was before Easter.
Yeah.
Easter was
Okay.
coming up on 3 weeks ago.
That's crazy.
Is it?
Oh, weird. We got closed
Subtitles?
caption
Oh,
subtitles.
should we have that?
Yeah, it's automatic on Facebook, I think. They
Double check what we say.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if we could stump it. If I can mumble enough to where it will forget or
Bumblebee
not know
tuna?
what I'm saying.
Remember that?
Bumblebee.
Bumblebee tuna?
Mhm.
Yeah, you know what he says after that?
No.
I can't say that. Google it. So how's it going, man?
Going all right.
Yeah?
Going all right. It's been a while. This has turned in. We were joking before that this has kind of
It's more
turned
like
into a monthly.
Not like weekly. I
Not
know.
that we want it to. It's just it's been hard to get the time that we could all be here. And then today Mike is sick.
Yep.
So
Yep.
take care of yourself, Mike.
Thoughts and prayers, Mike.
I mean, let's be honest. He deserves it though, to be sick.
To be sick?
Yeah. I'm just
Why
joking.
is
I don't know. I'm joking. No, hopefully nothing too serious. It's just like,
Diarrhea.
yeah, explosive.
Explosive.
Yeah. No, it sounds like it's kind of a cold or something like,
Okay.
right?
Like
He was
flu-y.
saying he was like achy and snotty. I don't know.
Yeah.
What'd he say?
It's a little bit like
Yeah.
actually what I had right before Easter. I was not feeling well
Yeah.
pretty much all the way up till Saturday, Easter. Like even Friday for Good Friday service, I was low energy.
That's right.
And my
Yeah,
voice
you
was
weren't
kind of
feeling great.
falling apart. And then Saturday I was feeling all right. Easter Sunday morning, I don't know if I was sick because you just have to do it, right? And I get here at 5. You were actually here. This is the first year you were here before me on Easter morning.
No,
Yes,
that's not true.
That is true.
Maybe in the last 2 years, but not.
Ever?
No, I'm here early often. You,
On Easter?
yeah,
Well, it's in the past, every year, Dan and I have always been the first two
yeah.
people
Well,
here.
Dan spends the night here pretty much. Not in the sleeping sense. He's just hanging out all night.
Working on his talk.
Yeah, yeah. No, but it was a good weekend.
It was.
It was, man, packed from Thursday night.
Yep. Thursday had the most
Friday-
amount of people we've ever had.
Yeah, by far, blew that away. The last
Friday
supper
was
service
it was well balanced between the two
Yeah,
services,
which
but
was
both
nice.
services were pretty full.
full.
That
well
cross thing
balanced.
that Paul did, that was pretty sweet.
Pretty cool. Yeah, we're running out of ways to do demonstrations with that cross, man. So maybe we need ideas.
Yeah, if you got
Because you
some-
guys keep every year, it's like something new, and then.
Well, we got the
wow,
new
look at
guy,
this
and that
one.
was actually his kind of.
Hey,
his,
what if we wrap it with paper?
Right, that was his idea. So
It worked.
shout out to Paul, and he came up with the string thing.
Yep.
It's like, oh, I bet if I pulled the string behind it, I can just yank on these
Yeah.
two strings.
It's like
And that
kind of
was
like
funny.
opening a giant Amazon bag where you just pull the.
The
Yeah.
first service, there was a part of it that was on the corner of the cross that actually had
Yeah.
Ben's name on it, and he ran up there and like
Tore it off.
shoot it off. Yeah, that was pretty funny. The
Sweet.
second service, it all came
Yeah.
down pretty clean.
It was pretty cool.
Um,
But it was a great evening, and then we had sunrise service was great, well attended, and it was cool being able to have the front of the room being like the windows. So
right,
even though we were facing west, you still get some sunlight.
right, because the sun comes
'Cause-
up over this way,
yeah.
right? Okay.
But that was cool.
got that wrong.
Brax did excellent job.
yeah, Brax was
that,
awesome, and I lost a bet.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, just
lost
so
a
you
bet.
know, we do bets.
we
a lot.
bet.
I mean,
It's
they're-
not hardcore gambling.
No,
It's
But
friendly wagers. It's not really.
it was a
it's
friendly
like-
wager about whether or not he would preach
There's not
under.
like money exchanging hands
No.
or no bookies involved and
No.
busted kneecaps if you don't
No,
pay
it's
up.
just
But yeah,
But
Just
under
for
a
fun.
20-minute message, I said he was going to go over. He said I can do it under 20, and I
Bet
said
19.
we're on. You know,
yeah, I would take that bet
and
any
he
day.
did 19 in like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
It was sharp and it was powerful.
Yeah, it's really good.
And then Easter Sunday was
Yeah.
really good. 9 people got
awesome.
baptized.
9 or yeah,
9,
no,
11,
11
10.
I think.
I know we
Uh,
had somebody
can't
drop
remember
out
count.
at the last second, but 1,
Yeah, maybe 9
2, 3, 4,
or 5.
5, 6,
Yeah.
7, 8.
I think 9,
Yeah, 9. It was really good.
including my daughter. That was my favorite one.
Yeah, that
They're all
was pretty
great,
Cool.
but that's just
Even
it's a
my
special
mom
moment.
said she was getting emotional when she watched you.
Really?
Yeah, she was.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she watched that service, the 9 o'clock, or the 8 o'clock, which, like it was a good service, but there was something about the 9:15 and 10:45, just from my perspective with the band and the music and the energy in the room.
Yeah.
I think people are still kind of waking up.
Yeah,
and
people are awake.
the
by
band
then.
was we're going through the motions a little bit because I think everybody was tired. Still sounded good.
Yeah.
It just didn't have the energy zap to it like the 9:15 and 10:45 did.
Well, I was gonna say you guys wake up a little bit, and then everyone else is awake a little bit.
All right.
So-
I think the only morning person in that whole group was Aaron Ekstrand.
Yeah.
You know, you had me,
Probably.
Jeremy, Alex, and Sam. Were probably all more late night
Yep.
people. But it was good.
I'm just trying to see. Oh yeah, what Mike said. So we're just gonna talk about his symptoms.
Oh, are we?
Yeah, it was like a chest cold kind of thing, coughing and stuff. So
And
anyway,
then last week we were at a Eagle Brook conference all
Yeah.
week, so we couldn't do it last week. Which is a lot of good takeaways. We had a really nice conversation yesterday in our pastor team meeting about some things that we were that were shared at the conference.
Yep.
And, so that's what we were doing last week, and then this week we're back.
we're back,
And we're back.
and hopefully not a month from the next one.
No, we'll try to get them at least
We'll try
every,
next
every
week.
other. Well, try.
Try? There is no try.
Do that. Yeah. We'll give it. We'll try. We'll give it a go.
All right. Today's Asher's birthday. 13. I got a teenager, man. That's crazy.
Wow, you're old.
I am old. Regardless of his age, I am old.
What was crazy
fun.
last night is I was leading worship for the youth, and EJ
I know.
was right in front of me. I'm like,
Yeah.
"What are you doing in here?" And I didn't realize that they had invited the 5th graders in,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't realize he was a 5th grader.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
he's a
He'll
5th
be in the
grader.
youth group.
That
He's
is
starting
wild.
this summer, right? Because then
Well, they had.
start sixth grade.
Did he
in
go
summer?
to that light?
No,
thing?
we
Okay.
had just too much other stuff happening
Right.
over last weekend. So, no, he didn't. We didn't make that. But, yeah, that I think incoming 6th graders could start in the summer, right? For youth group, if I remember right. I
Right.
think Asher did.
Yeah,
so
once we take a break,
Oh, yeah.
or right at the end of May, in the beginning of June, we have Celebration Sunday, which we'll mention a little later. But then, like the second week of June, they kick back up, and then that's when 5th graders can start attending youth group. Which is pretty wild.
sorry.
Sorry for what?
I just had lunch at Clive's with Jay Vandenighty and Paul Jonason talking about men's ministry stuff, and I had some of Jay had tots, and I had some of the tots, and they're salty, and now just thirsty.
Just thirsty.
I've drinking so much water at lunch too, but
It's good. So you're gonna have to
Still
go
thirsty.
pee here in a second.
I'll try to hold it.
You know what's weird? I don't know if anybody listens to the Joe Rogan podcast regularly. Lately, he's had to go to the bathroom like a lot.
Really?
And I don't-
But they stop it. They're not
They
live.
do,
So.
but every episode, with the last
Yeah. You
dozen
gotta pee. I
episodes,
gotta pee? You gotta
he's
pee?
like, I
Okay.
gotta go.
We'll come
I gotta
back.
go. And sometimes he has to do it twice,
And
which is
we're
weird.
back.
Which
Yeah.
is, you know,
Didn't he like pride himself on being able to go 4 hours
Right.
without?
and lately he's not been able to.
Yeah. Whatever.
Um,
it's funny.
How was you went to Hamilton? How was
Yeah,
it?
We went Sunday night. It was awesome, man. We were nervous about it because we've watched that on Disney's, plus the Broadway cast.
The original
cast so
with-
many times and listened to the soundtrack so much in the car because, especially on family trips, like that's one thing we could put on that the kids, like everyone, will listen to and like. And so we were a little bit nervous, but I mean, blown away.
good.
It was so good. The production value alone, like the lighting and whoever's like the sound team just killed it. I mean, the levels and everything. Live music, like live band. It's interesting. Have you ever seen anything at the Orpheum? You can't.
A concert, but not
Okay,
not
but
like,
like
a theater production.
Yeah,
no.
musical or something.
No.
You can't see the band.
Yeah, they're
like you can't
underneath.
see the pit.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them, it's kind of.
Can you see the director?
You could barely
Like
see
the
like
head
yeah, I
with
saw
the
his
light,
head.
like a strip of lights.
Barely see his head, but often you could see like some heads of like the band. But yeah, anyway, we were a little nervous, but yeah, phenomenal performance. I mean, across the board, acting was all great. Voices were great. When the ensemble songs, when like everyone joins in, it sounded so good. Like just full, just powerful. I mean, there were a few that was like, oh, it's just maybe not this vocals on a few songs, maybe not quite as strong, or maybe not like in the technical sense, but like Jordan pointed out, the maybe some of like the emotion behind it or something. But I mean, that's kind of nitpicking.
Sure.
It was really good.
Yeah.
Really good. We were really pleased, blown away. It was a great night out, and
Well, and how many performances do you think that cast does?
I don't know, but
I mean,
a
Jordan would know
ton.
this when you do repeat performances. It's like
Yeah.
that's the trick, is to maintain that level of emotion
Yeah.
through every performance, consistency.
And we saw the understudy for
Hamilton?
For Hamilton,
So not even the main
not the
person.
yeah, and he was still great. He was still better than Lin-Manuel Miranda. And that's not even an unpopular opinion. Most people say like he on that cast, he's like
Like
clearly
so
there's actors there.
Miranda's singing wasn't strong,
Right.
But his other acting,
No, he's fun.
like when
he's
he's
not
just
bad.
doing
It's
just doing the normal stuff,
Yeah.
it's like Aaron Burr, sir.
Right.
You know, all that kind of stuff.
He's still good.
Yeah.
But he's even said he's surrounded himself with
Amazing.
people that were way better than him,
Right.
and which is just smart.
And
I mean,
you
the guy,
see a
and
lot
he's
of the-
genius as far as writing music and all that
A
stuff.
lot
He's
of the people
awesome.
in the original cast, they're in shows, TV shows
Yeah.
today.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah. So, but it was fun. If you have, I know a lot of people from church have seen it. Actually, the Allards went Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. I remember Courtney saying she was
yeah.
here Saturday night.
I was
but she
talking to her
didn't have
last
work
night about
Sunday.
it, and they had the understudy, the same guy doing Hamilton, but he was really good.
So he did two shows in one day.
Mhm.
Oh,
Which they all do. I mean, I guess the main guy got a day off or something.
man.
You know, it's kind of cool too because there's one lady in the ensemble cast, so she wasn't like a main role, but like one of the the dancers and ensemble singers and stuff, background role. And there was a note in there. It was like her farewell performance, like I don't know, for some who knows whatever reason that was going to be her last show. And so when they bowed, this was what was cool. They didn't do the whole traditional like part of the cast comes up and bows, and then like it
In
kind of
order of
escalates in
importance?
order of,
Yeah.
and then the mains. They all just came
In one
in
big
one
line.
big line together, bow, pointed out the band and the production,
they-
bow, and then they all turned to her, and she was on the end, and like are applauding her, and it was kind of cool. It was a cool moment because it's like, I mean, to be in an ensemble in a professional show, you're good, but
Right. You'd probably be a lead in like a.
oh yeah,
Let's-
community theater, you'd be elite. No, but it was just cool. It was just cool the way they did it because it was like most of us in the audience, we don't know, like.
Sure.
It was just cool. Anyway, but I was telling you and Brax yesterday, and if anyone doesn't know, there is an app, Hamilton app, that you could download, and you can enter into a daily, like
Lottery?
a lottery, for the potential of being able to buy 2 tickets for $10 a piece. But the caveat is like you have to go that night. Basically, they tell you that day, hey, you got the tickets, and then you have
Sort
to
of like
be able
flying
to-
red eye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or standby. Yeah.
Standby. That's what I meant.
Yeah, but they've done that so that average folks could go because a lot of it's like sporting events. A lot of the tickets to bigger productions like that are bought up by ticket agencies, and groups, and it's expensive. So we were able to get discounted tickets through one of the theater groups that Jordan's involved with. They get a block of them and are able to sell them cheap, and so yeah, a lot of fun.
Cool.
You should try to go.
I probably won't.
You should
It's kind of like movies. I don't go to movies by myself.
take somebody, dude.
Who?
I don't know. Hey, let's have a poll question. Who should Andy take to go see Hamilton?
I'm on a
That'd be a killer first date, man.
budget freeze right now because I did a thing last night.
Did you finally do the thing?
I did a thing last
Uh-oh.
night. I'm excited, but I'm also
what they say, the best 2 days.
yes is when you
buy it,
and
when you sell it.
Yeah. I bought
Can
a
you
boat.
guess what? Oh, never mind.
I bought a boat last night.
You
I'm
bought a boat.
So excited.
Sweet. How long does it take to inflate, to pump up?
It takes a long time to blow it up.
Uh,
No, it's a 2000 early 2000 Lund,
ooh.
and it's only a 16 and a half foot, but I don't need a big boat.
awesome,
I don't
man.
really want a big boat.
Why do you need it? Is this the actual
the
boat?
actual
Where'd
boat.
you go get it?
It doesn't
Oh, it's on
rotate.
Facebook. Yeah.
The guy
It drives me crazy. Come on, figure it out, Facebook. Is that marketplace photo?
yeah,
Why you can't turn it landscape?
Right.
It's just dumb.
yeah. The guy lived in Plymouth, but it stayed up at his cabin in Hibbing.
Yeah. Sweet, man.
He owned it for 10 years, and he was the second owner. His next door neighbor up at his cabin was the first owner, and they're
Nice.
both like mid-70 guys. And I walked into his garage, and it's like meticulous.
Yeah,
I'm
of
like,
course.
this is a guy I want to buy a boat from.
Yeah. Sweet.
And so the boat is for being 20 years old. It's in
Yeah, it
great
looks
condition.
good.
And I actually knew somebody. We had common friend, and so I name dropped because I told him, I said,
Yeah.
you can't blame me for snooping on your Facebook page, right? I saw you work at Shock Minneapolis, and I have a friend
What's
who
that? Shock.
I don't know what it is. It's like a manufacturing company.
Okay.
But one of my friends, former church friend at Vision of Glory, Jerry Buell, he was like the GM or CEO. I don't remember what it is.
Okay.
Big, like upper level, ran the place.
Like one of the guys that bow last.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And he was, a project director or whatever, supervisor. And his lady friend, he kept calling the lady, my female friend. They live together. I don't think they're
You
married.
can't have a girlfriend when you're in the 70s.
Yeah.
Man. It's just, yeah.
But his lady friend was in upper management, so they both knew Jerry, and I think
Okay.
because of that, he gave me a little bit better deal on the boat.
Nice.
And I also feel like because of that connection, he was very forthright. I believe everything he said, and
Yeah. Cool.
I was very confident. Although I'm sitting at his table in his kitchen counting out all this money, I'm like, oh, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because I'm a pretty frugal guy with my finances, but that
you
means
got a
no
boat,
going
dude.
to
That's
even $10 tickets to Hamilton.
Oh, come on. Who wants to buy $10 tickets for Andy? And then he'll take you out fishing
Yeah,
in exchange.
I'll take you out. I want to take you out.
Oh, yeah. Kids
Um,
would want to go. You
yeah.
can take Asher. You can take Evan.
Can
That'd
I?
be fun.
Do I get to?
You get to. That'd be fun. I don't know how much fishing he'd do, but he would definitely want you
Just
to
be
pull
out
up
on the lake.
next to the shore and look. He'd look for frogs and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to take Liam Peterson.
Yeah.
Because him and I have been talking about fishing. I even bought him a fishing pole a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And
He seems like he would enjoy
Boy
fishing.
Scout,
Yep.
But we've been talking about going fishing, and I hate being that guy who says, "Oh, let's do it," and never does it. And I've been that guy for 2 years. Not this summer. Liam and I are going fishing like every Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So anyway,
Every Tuesday.
yep, it's in my garage. Got to get rid of some other crap that's in there. Got this huge fridge freezer that doesn't work. I think it just needs a new compressor because it powers up. It just doesn't cool. And then I have 2 lawnmowers. One actually was from an old one from the shed that doesn't work, and then one that Brad Martin gave me that doesn't work. And then I have a dishwasher that used to be in my house, but Murray and Jan Nord, remember them? Before they moved
Oh, yeah.
out west,
Got it,
they
yeah.
gave me one of theirs, and it stopped working. I think my water is just really bad.
Yeah. That's
So
Seagull
it
water.
clogged it up. And so the old one's sitting in my garage. So I got those 4 things that if I think I can get those 4 things out of my garage and bring them to a dump or whatever, recycle, then I could fit both my boat and my Jeep in my garage.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just the boat. So I'm super excited.
That's pretty cool, man.
I had a hard time sleeping
Congratulations.
last night.
Yeah.
I was like,
want to get it out there.
nervous energy just because, like,
Yeah.
should I have done this? Should I?
Too late.
Too late, yeah.
Just go to sleep.
I could probably sell it for probably what he was originally offering if I had absolutely had to. But
It's awesome, man.
it's been an expensive month.
Yeah.
Because I also booked my trip for next
yeah.
February to Hawaii, to Maui.
Why don't you just cruise the boat out there?
long ride.
Go through the water. I mean,
Yeah, paid for the plane tickets, the rental car, and the place that we're staying is through our timeshare, but I have to pay the fees for that, so I haven't paid that yet. Plane ticket and rental car, and then the boat. So I'm
baller.
locking it down. Not going to spend much money for the next few months,
Yeah.
except for gas for my boat.
And bait.
Yeah, well, actually, you know what? I was taking Jackson out to go to the bathroom last night, and like right before it rains, the night crawlers just
Yeah.
come barreling out of and I have a ton of them on my yard. So I was thinking, dude, I could just
Start collecting them.
start collecting them, get a bucket and put some dirt in there and just start tossing them in there. Will they live?
Oh,
Do they need more than just dirt?
doesn't seem like it.
All right. I don't know. Yeah.
Do
But
they
what
eat something? Do they eat like roots
Or
from grass, or
they
do
just
they eat,
absorb
like,
the nutrients from the soil?
maybe,
I don't know.
or do they eat other little grubs or bugs or something?
Are worms
Are
carnivorous?
worms? I don't know.
I don't know.
Speaking of carnivores and amphibious creatures,
Oh,
Evan's got 2 tree frogs.
they eat.
Frogs
Other
are
frogs?
brutal. I've found this out after he got frogs. Yes, frogs will eat anything that moves as long as it knows it could
Swallow
fit
it?
it in its mouth. Yeah, including other frogs. And he has this one hide, and it's like a
So
branch.
not
that's
only
hollow.
carnivores, but they're cannibals.
Yes, and that's what I meant to say was cannibals, not carnivore, but both. Yeah, so we changed out his frog habitat over this weekend, Saturday or Sunday, and
You were doing
We
while I was
thought
talking to you one day.
yeah, oh, that's right, yeah, your battery was dead in your car.
Oh, that's right.
You should have bought a battery for your car instead of a boat. Just kidding.
The battery's good.
We thought it was kind of hibernating for the last month or so, just hiding, which they will do from time to time. And we took that thing out, and I flushed it out pretty good. And I'm like,
The frog?
I flushed out this
Oh.
hide, this like big branch that's kind of hollow inside, and they hide in it and stuff. But it was not coming out, and we hadn't seen it for a while. And I told Evan, like, I'm sorry, buddy. I think Chad ate Chunky. Because there was a size difference. Chad is bigger and fatter, and if they were both males, which we don't know, it's hard to determine that with frogs apparently. But
Right.
They could get territorial, and so I'm like, and they could be cannibals. They will eat other frogs,
Wow.
and then randomly the next night.
The other one crawls out.
No, actually, I was out later with Asher Monday night with an activity. Come home, Evan was already in his bed. His lights were out, but Jordan told me, "Hey, I forgot to give the frog crickets," so I got crickets to put in for the frog, and turn on their little light to put crickets in, and there is Chunky on
The light?
on
the
the
lamp?
on the branch,
Oh, okay. I should just shut
and
up.
he's
That's-
black, which they will go completely black, like to be more camouflaged.
Oh, so
when
the
they're hiding.
color changes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not quite as much as like a chameleon, but yeah, they can change color. But anyway, I was like, Evan, he's alive, and he's fatter now. He's like the same size as Chad, so he's just been like eating crickets and just growing, just socking it away.
Vegging?
And I don't know how he
couch
stayed in
potato.
that thing or where he was, but he's there and he's alive. So we have 2 frogs again after one night of thinking we only had one frog.
That's
So
funny. What else going on, man? I got a few burning questions that
let's get to it.
Everybody wants to know
Because I've been one thing going on is baseball, and we got baseball practice at
today.
3
Oh,
in Maple Grove.
so we got to kind of skate
Let's
through
get
this.
to it.
So I get these emails. I don't know why or how I got subscribed to like BeliefNet. Have you heard of that?
Yeah,
I don't know
I
how.
think I subscribed you.
You did?
No, I'm just
thank you.
Yeah,
But I got this. I get this one, and it had this interesting idea on there about Christians, and so it inspired me to think about how should Christians view some of these things, and not political at all. I promise. And so I have this list, and I wanted to bring this list up to you and see what you think.
so I'm speaking for all Christians.
No, I'm just creating a conversation, and I'll give my opinions and
Okay.
thoughts too. But
I wish Mike were here.
so the email had something about loved ones who had passed away looking down at you from heaven. How should Christians view that idea about deceased loved ones, ancestors looking down at you from heaven?
Next. I don't know.
I actually remember having this conversation with my mom because
Yeah.
she had somebody at her church comment to her, "Oh, I bet Jim is just watching up, keeping track of you in
Yeah.
heaven and all this stuff." My mom's like, "I don't think he is."
Yeah. Because I've heard that. Like, why would they care? They're going to be so filled with joy in the presence of God, then they don't.
Well,
Why would someone think about
even beyond that, do they have that ability?
right? I mean, we're not even getting to the ability part. I've heard more the argument of you wouldn't have a care.
Right.
For,
You're gonna be
which
distracted.
I always thought was like, I don't. That doesn't sit right either. So I don't know what passage am I thinking of that kind of vaguely. It gives enough vague idea that there could be some sort of
Portal?
interaction. Portal. Yeah, I haven't really thought about it much, to be honest. Because I don't know. My mind can't get around, like, I have a hard enough time imagining God being able to do that, like just see everything or just look down, or that blows my mind enough. And then to
But
think
he's
that
God,
then I know
so-
that's part of my point. Then all of a sudden I'm going to have that ability at some point, like
We're
to be able
still
to look
not God
down
when
and
we
right.
die and go to
we're still
heaven.
not God. We don't even get God powers. I mean, it's just
And then that kind of
it's hard one to wrap around.
segues into this next one, which is another article that BeliefNet had in one of their emails about angels and demons and having like a personal guardian angel
Yeah,
and all this kind of stuff. What do you think about all that stuff? Like,
I think this
okay with demons, angels and demons, that they exist.
sure.
How much do they interface with human beings?
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, but what about this idea of having like a personal guardian angel?
I don't know. Sounds a little too convenient.
Could that personal guardian angel be one of your loved one that had passed away?
I don't know.
Do we turn into angels?
I think
when
no.
we die?
We don't turn into angels.
Okay, we're not like
It's a separate being, right?
sitting on clouds with
We're a
wings and
different
playing
being.
harps.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't know. It's a hard one because I know why. I get why people would want that, but
Right.
I don't know.
So we say this stuff
It's too
just to
easy to
make
just
each
say
other
no.
feel good.
It's too easy to say no. That doesn't exist. Like,
Right.
but I don't know. Is there an instance where someone says something like that and Jesus says, "What are you talking about? There's no such thing as a guardian angel." I don't know. I get why people. I mean, it makes total sense why we would want that, or why we'd even believe that. Like, oh, it must, he must be looking down on me, or he's my angel now. Like, yeah. I don't want to. I don't know. I just hate.
I told you these
the
were
potential of crushing somebody with just an opinion, because at the end of the day, it's like, do we really know?
right.
I don't know. I think the guardian angel thing is a little,
Like personal guardian.
yeah,
angel.
like you got one person assigned to you. It just seems a little too influenced by story, like book and movie. You know, I don't know. It's like
Too
a premise
sci-fi.
for for a sitcom or something. But
All right, those are the two hardest ones. So good job. You got the hardest ones out of the way. What about what do you think about dreams? What like how should a biblical worldview look at dreams, and how should we read into them and interpret them, symbolism and all those kinds of things? What do you think dreams are?
I mean, Daniel thought it was worth it, right? I mean, you can interpret.
So the dreams that we have when we're sleeping, they should, don't always have meaning?
I don't think always,
Okay.
because there's so much unknown about the brain. I mean, just our brains are incredible, and I think there are times when a dream is a warning or a symbol of something, or
Like prophetic?
prophetic, maybe informational. It can be prophetic. I've had a premonition. I've had 2 dreams that were like premonition dreams. Have I not shared this before?
No.
I
Please
thought I
do.
did. Here's what's funny.
Is it funny or is it?
I don't remember one of them. I don't even remember the situation.
That is funny.
And it was the second time it happened. And it was like, I honestly cannot remember what it was, but I remember having it. And then I remember knowing, like, oh my gosh, I had that dream. So so we'll say 1.5 times. I don't know. But the one that I do remember, this was several years ago. This probably, I'm 99% sure it was before we had Asher. So I'm going to say 14-ish years ago, because we were in Minnesota. We lived in Maple Plain. I had a dream that Jordan and I were out walking in the woods, and then we're walking through the woods, and we come upon this chain link fence just in the middle of the woods. And then I see this fence, and then I kind of happen to look down and see that it ends like probably 20 feet or something down. Like the line of fence just comes to an end. And then I look back, and there's a wolf on the other side of the fence, but kind of coming, like, not just trotting, but not running full speed, but a good kind of run toward us. And then I look back and realize, oh yeah, the fence ends right there. And I tell Jordan, we got to go. He's going to get around this fence. And so we turn around and start running. And I look back, and he's getting really close. And we come upon a tree. And I say, let's just climb the tree. And I start climbing, and I look back, and Jordan's, because it's a dream and weird things happen, all of a sudden there's like a swing set, and she's on a swinging. And I remember getting upset, like, what are you doing? Climb the tree. And the wolf is coming and to attack her, and right as it's like lunging to bite her or attack her, I woke up. And yeah, so I have that dream. And I should say, I don't remember dreams very often. It's pretty rare that I have a dream and it's like vivid the next day. But I was telling Jordan about it. And then that night on the news, there was a wolf that escaped at the Minnesota Zoo. A break in the fence. It was probably around this time of year, because they were saying it was after winter and melt, and some of the ground below the fence had, like, it basically was able to tunnel out under the fence, and it was going toward a playground where there's kids playing. If you've been to the zoo, there's like playgrounds and stuff. And they actually had to shoot it.
Oh, no.
Like, one of the rangers had to shoot it because he was getting ready to
Tranquilize it?
see. That's what people were so upset. And the I don't know, ranger, whoever it is, the zookeepers, Rick, I don't know, the zoo people, the gun guy was saying,
Matt Damon,
well,
we bought a zoo.
yeah, it was probably Matt Damon. He was on the news saying it's a common misconception because of movies, that when you shoot an animal with a tranquilizer dart that they immediately go out, but it could
takes-
take them half an hour before. And we didn't have that time because it's a wolf and there are children playing on a playground. So he was kind of like, sorry, we had to act. And that freaked me out because it was like, I had a dream about this.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
That's wild. And then I had another one a couple years later, but I have
Couldn't
no
remember what it
recollection what it was about.
But it happened.
Yeah, but I remember having it happen. Yeah.
The last dream I remember was, I don't remember the scenario. All I remember was I woke up remembering that Jay Vinker was in my dream and he was mad at me.
Yeah, that's hilarious. I could not imagine
'Cause
Jay
he's-
being mad at
right?
anything ever. Yeah.
And so I went up to him to church that weekend. I'm like, are you mad at me,
Yeah.
Ferry?
Why are you so angry? Yeah.
It's like, oh, am I supposed to be mad?
That's funny.
So I've heard all sorts of the broadband of, people looking up dream interpretations and everything has
Yeah.
everything is symbolic.
Yeah.
But even though that happened, the wolf is symbolic, the fence is symbolic, swing set, the
Yeah.
tree, the being out in the woods, all those things are all symbolic of something, being chased,
Yeah.
falling, or whatever it is.
There could be
Um,
meaning. Definitely could be meaning behind dreams. You know, it's interesting. I've heard a lot people who are grow up in Muslim faith and then become a Christian.
They see Jesus a lot.
They do, and in dreams, God
Right.
often communicates like it. I don't know if that's. I mean, we say God communicates with them. I don't know if it's like God's decided, hey,
I'm just going to take
this
over
is my
this.
tactic to communicate to this person. Yeah, I don't know. But I've heard that quite often with Christians who had a Muslim background. Is like God.
Well,
came
remember,
to me
we
in a
watched a
dream.
video here years ago where there was a Muslim guy talking about how he had a vision of Jesus
I don't remember that.
in his dream,
Yeah,
and that's what led him to become
Yeah.
a Christian.
that's cool.
And then I've heard the opposite side, where like there was a Harvard student or grad talking about they believed it was just subconscious dump. Like your dreams are just your brain can only carry so much information, and when you at night it's just recycling and dumping all the unneeded things. Although I feel like I carry around a bunch of unneeded, useless information in
Yeah.
my brain every day.
I would
But,
dream a lot more if that's what it was, because I'm full of useless information, man.
But then you have Acts 2:17, which is your old men will dream dreams and your young men will have visions.
Right.
And so I don't know if it was literally like when they say dreams, if it's literally I'm asleep in deep sleep and you have the picture movie while you're sleeping. It's such a weird phenomenon.
It is strange.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's so much unknown about it.
Yeah.
The brain in general, there's so much unexplored, that could be a funny joke. There's a lot of unexplored space there in your brain. But no, it's crazy but then I think it could get dangerous because it could be just, I mean, how often have you had a dream where it's just because you were talking about something the night before or that day,
It's kind of like
something random, and then it gets incorporated into your dream, and it doesn't mean anything. It's just because it was on your brain.
right.
There's no deeper meaning.
Kind
But
of like us talking, and then you pull up Facebook and it has an ad for something.
yeah, it's the same thing. That's how your brain works. It's listening. Your brain's listening to everything that's going on.
Even though you're not.
Yeah, that's Bargatze's newest special on Prime. Didn't you have a bit on that? On how it's
His phone,
right side
yeah.
and left side of the brain,
Oh,
and
yeah,
the.
yeah.
Where were you when this plan was taken place? You were there. It's the same. Yeah. But that's our next thing we're going to, by the way, and I think it's June.
You and
Get to see
Peterson's?
Bargatze. Yeah. Oh yeah. Aren't you? You're going too.
No, you invited me to go. I didn't want to be a fifth wheel.
No, but weren't you going with another friend?
Well, Joe Lamondo had asked, and we never
Oh my goodness.
followed.
He
through.
added another show
So, yeah.
here in St. Paul.
Well, it should be a good time.
Nate Bargatze sponsors a podcast.
You should
Just
have a
kidding.
good time.
Yeah, we're having a good time.
Um,
That can be dangerous though. To me, the whole interpretation thing. Well, it can be because there's people out there that take advantage of that, right? Like if you share, hey, I have this dream. What do you think it means? And like someone's crafty enough, they could
Means you should
take
give me
advantage of it.
$3,000.
Right. I could, yeah.
Yeah, you should do that.
I don't know.
This one's a little different just because it's a little theological inclined, maybe. Things like
Let me call Mike.
luck, chance, coincidence, all those kinds of terms.
I once went to a church that
Like,
stopped calling. This is years and years ago, even before I was in ministry, but they would not call it. They had the weekly Sunday night potluck. They would not call it. They call it pot trust.
oh,
Because we don't believe in luck. We trust Jesus. I'm like, okay. I mean, there's some people that won't. Yeah, you don't go there with that term.
Right.
So I don't know. Does every single thing in the world at every single moment, is it orchestrated?
Depends on what side of the...
Depends on some
Just real...
views.
Yeah.
But even that, how much is our action, our, sin, or even if it's not a sinful thing, just how much of it is, like, do we have any choice or say in the matter? And then we're affected by other people's choices, good or bad. Like, is that really all orchestrated down to the finest detail?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know about luck. Luck is the residue of design, right? Is that what they say?
Who's they? And when...
Whoever they are that seem to be very lucky, they say it's because I work hard.
We used to
right?
have a thing when I was growing up with my buddies, Rob and Luke and Chuck and Mike. You call it luck, I call it skill.
Good luck, Chuck. Is that what you call it? You should have
Good
called
luck,
it.
Chuck. No, we'd say, hey, Chuck, what?
The nice way of saying it's just luck is just good fortune. We had good fortune. Yeah.
Yeah. Or blessed.
Or you're blessed.
Yeah. Well, that's...
But that's manipulative too, and I think that's prideful, to be honest. Like a lot of people, it doesn't have to be, but it's often... I don't think they mean it that way, but to me it comes off that way. It's like, you got that nice new Mercedes or whatever. Like, oh, I'm blessed. So like God just wanted you to have the Mercedes and not me?
Yeah,
Like,
or like
or you work
like
hard and you have a good job and
a
make a good
marriage
living.
and one says, I'm a lucky guy.
Yeah.
Are you lucky? Is it luck?
Is it luck, or is it that you made a good choice in who you married?
Yeah. Or she, whatever.
Or she could overlook a lot. I'm just blessed thing. It's like a fake humility, or it's like but it's like, you work hard and you have a good job and you can afford these things. Take some credit, I guess. Maybe you'll say, well, God's given me the ability. Yeah. I don't know. How far do you want to peel this onion? You're like an onion, right?
Who says?
You got many layers.
Who says that?
Is that what we said yesterday?
I mean, I was just talking to the guy that I bought the boat from, and I was telling him about...
You got a boat? Man, you're blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
You gonna name it? Wait, don't you name a boat?
Don't name.
Or is that just yachts? You got to name it.
I don't name
The
boats
blessing.
or cars.
The blessing.
That's like too perfect.
Yes, the blessing.
It's my least favorite song, and it's
And you nailed it
relevant
on
to the conversation.
Thursday, Last Supper service.
Oh yeah, that was pretty awesome.
In case people don't know, Andy and I both don't really like that song, and
Here's the thing. It's not
right,
that I don't
there is a thing.
like it.
It's
The
yes.
melody is beautiful. The sentiment is beautiful.
It's not a worship song.
I have as your worship pastor, I'm really challenged, and I'm happy to kick this around with anybody.
Yeah.
But I have a hard time bringing it into the weekend service in the context of us worshiping God, because if you think about the lyrics, we're not singing to God; we're singing to each other. Kind of like
it's called the blessing.
like when Ben goes up to at the end of the service to do the benediction. It's the same kind of language. In fact, he uses one of those, the Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you. Although that's kind of oftentimes more of a Lutheran benediction. Make his face shine upon you, be gracious to you, and give you his peace. That's all spoken to people, laterally, and not.
Which is why we circled up and we faced each other and we sang it
that
to
was
each other.
Such an awesome moment.
Yeah.
That at the end of, Greg talked, and then at the end of that, we all made one gigantic circle with 180 people, 190 people that were there, and we sang it facing each other as if we were singing it to each other. And I told Greg there was a moment later in the song when it talks about may a blessing be upon you and to your generations and family and your family and your family and your family.
That's what I don't like about the song.
Is I got actually emotional because we're looking at each other, and we're speaking that over each other's lives, and that was cool. That was cool. But the blessing, the blessing would be actually it'd be kind of funny. Just if I get like a little vinyl sticker, and I can put it on the back transom, and just be like the blessing.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to do that now. Speaking of blessing, what about blesses and curses? Because we talk so easily about blessings. Bless you, Lord bless you, and all that kind of stuff. But what about curses?
Yeah. I think what people...
I think of witches.
Yeah.
And I think of like witchcraft and like big black crock pot and like stirring it with frogs, and we put your frog in there, and we can put other.
Eye of Newt.
What's Eye of Newt?
What was that? Eye of Newt. What was that from? It's from a movie or something.
That's what I think about with curses.
Yeah.
Sleeping Beauty.
We could get into a whole realm of like, and again, another like branch of theological thought, I guess.
Branch Davidian.
Yeah. I don't think another human has that kind of power over me. Over, like, just on a plain level, I don't know that a human has that kind of supernatural power over another human being. However, I think that someone could open themselves up to that. Like they could open themselves up to allowing that kind of power and presence into their life. And I think what people call cursed is often more likely a result of their own sin or consequences of their own behavior. And
they're just unlucky.
And it's not unlucky. It's just you're making bad choices. And it might not even be like, it might not even be sinful. Like we don't even have to be talking about sinful choices, just like bad decisions.
Like buying a boat. And now you're like, oh, I'm so cursed. I got, way less money than I had yesterday. I mean, and I'm stuck with this boat. And I'm going to call it the blessing just to be ironic because it's really a curse. Call it the curse. Curse of the blessing.
I don't know. What do you think? You haven't shared any thoughts on any of this.
I
You
know,
said you were going
this
to
is
share
fun.
your thoughts.
This is fun.
But don't you think that we are very quick to...
I think we give power too much, like you said. I don't think any human being in and of themselves, like I don't have the physical or the even emotional or mental, psychological power.
Yeah.
I can influence you, but I can't make you do anything. And I think we give too much power to that. We give too much power to even like demons. Like I think some people want to
There's a demon
find a
behind
demon
every
under
bush.
every rock.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, dude, you just, you didn't do an oil change.
Right.
You
Your
gotta,
car's breaking down. because
right.
Yeah.
And they don't make parts for that. God can't even like.
Yeah.
Fix that.
Oh. Think he can if he wanted to.
And I remember something that Erwin said a few podcasts ago when we actually still listen to Erwin on. He said something about the devil isn't omnipresent.
Right.
And I just I knew that intuitively, but when he said it, I was like, "Dang, dude, that's awesome!"
I know.
Like,
And
so
we
if
want
he's
to give him the equal amount of power that we give God.
and he's
It's
nowhere
just like it's the
near
opposite
that.
of God, but he doesn't
Nowhere
have the power.
near that.
Yeah.
And so he can't be messing with somebody over in Africa and be messing with me at the same
Yeah.
time. You know, can he send his dominion, to, but they can't physically force you to do
Yeah.
anything. You know, I don't know about, yeah, every once in a while I'll be watching like Instagram, and they'll have this, just because of the weird things that I look up, whether it's
You're stuck in a weird
worship music.
algorithm.
Yeah, the weird algorithm. I have these weird church things where they're doing like demon exorcisms. Like, it looks like a modern church. It's not like a
Yeah.
priest or anything like that. It's just a modern church. And this guy was, he was talking to this, looked like a mid-20s, and he kept hitting in his chest. He's like, "Get out of him!" Like all this stuff. And the guy was like, kind of going back and forth between laughter and like, trying to argue and curse at this guy, and the guy kept saying, "Get out of him in Jesus' name." I'm like, we read about demon possession in the Bible all the time, and even, I don't know, maybe I had an experience where I thought that I was being told that that's what it was. Was it really that? I don't know. And are these things that we see on, social media, are they real? Are they legitimate? I don't know. I mean,
Is anything on there real?
on the Instaface.
On the Instaface.
But I do know that aside from possession, being demon possessed, the devil and his power cannot force you to do anything.
Yeah.
They can whisper and influence you through
There's
whatever means,
temptations.
whether it's, just through other people or through the media, or even, I don't know, can they even like whisper thoughts into your mind? I don't know. If God can do that, but he's not God, so we believe that God can speak to us in the inner being.
Yeah, I mean, have you ever had a thought where you're like, "Whoa, where'd that come from?" Like,
Yeah, I usually
that
just
thought
attribute it to something I ate
yeah,
bad.
yeah, bad burrito or something. No, I think there's so much room for manipulation in that arena, and it's so heavily abused. Like, it's really manipulative to play the angels and demons thing on people, and like some of the videos you see, and how many people out there have made lots and lots and lots of money claiming to be able to drive things out of you or heal you for something. Like, the other side of it is like God can heal. God can break you of some kind of bondage that you're in, spiritually, and he does it all the time. So it's kind of a weird line, right? But the other thing I hear the word curse a lot, and I use it in this context, is like generational curse. Have you heard that term? Like,
Yep.
a generational curse is like,
Well, that's the thing in the blessing. Maybe
Yes,
favor
and
be
you're
upon you,
trying
thousand generations,
to
and your
bless your
family, and your
generation after
family, and your
generation.
family,
Yeah.
and your family,
Yep.
family.
and your family, and your family, and your children, and their children, and their children. I am the product of two people
Mom and dad.
who are generational curse breakers. My dad being one of just a lot of trauma, a lot of nonsense that my dad even experienced, but did not pass on. And then my grandmother, my mom's mom, on the other side, who had a very traumatic upbringing and childhood, and from what we could tell, goes back generations. And she had a hard first half of her life. Raised my mom and my mom's two younger sisters, and but generational curse breaker, But it's not really a curse like what we're saying. That's just
Pattern?
pattern of behavior because it's what you've learned and what you've known, and it's been passed down to your children and their children and their children. But so there's like a, I don't even know if that's a spiritual bondage as much as it is just, it's learned behavior, bad, learned behavior. And, things we would call bad, just like neglect or abuse or whatever. But we've got this term generational curse. It's not really a curse. It's just like, oh, someone's from a line of really bad people and they took a different direction.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Well, it's kind of similar to, back in, we read a lot of the Bible where people attributed sickness to being possessed or
what or
taken
sin,
over.
like
or
what sin has caused this man's blindness, right?
So, is that a misunderstanding on their part, or is that something that we're missing today? Who knows?
Yes and no, because hey, if we had this discussion in
Mike?
my small group the other night. Yeah, where's Mike? Yeah, Mike's not feeling well today.
Yeah,
What's going on, Mike?
Going on in his spiritual life.
Yeah, everything okay, man? Let me interpret that for you. No, we had this conversation in my small group the other night about how, well, it's in the Hebrews 12, the text that we were doing from this past weekend, of the sin that hinders you. And if you're wrestling with a particular sin, or there's something that it's hindering you, in this case, in that text, it's, from joy. But man, we see people just break down because they're involved with some type of sinful behavior. And it's not even that sinful behavior is necessarily like the cause of the physical problem. Like, I don't know, I'm thinking of, someone who's just drinking over the top excessively. Of course, they're going to have other physical issues that come with that. But, when you're harboring some kind of sin or whatever, it just kind of takes a toll on you and it breaks you down.
Right.
And so, and when you're in that state, then your body reacts physically. You could become sick. So there's something to it, but I don't think just because someone's blind doesn't mean they have unconfessed sin, like, or someone hurts themselves.
Well, some of the disciples would ask Jesus, "This guy's been paralyzed his whole life.
Yeah.
What did he do, or what
Right.
did his parents do?"
Yeah.
Generational sin.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
What did his parents do?
One more, actually two more. The second one is not as big deal.
I'm doing my best to not answer any of these.
I think we're doing a good job not
Just
being
talk
different.
around everything.
What about near-death experiences? People claiming to see something on the other side.
Well, I know two people very well who have had those experiences.
Oh, tell more.
I think you know them both. Maybe not know of one of them. It's not me, but
Okay.
I don't know if it's mine to share.
Okay.
But one shared at the men's breakfast a couple months ago.
Okay.
The other, once I mention it, you'll go, "Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah." But I don't know if
I know both of them.
Yeah, you know them
Okay.
both very well.
Okay.
Moving on. No, I
don't have
gotta
to
say,
say
and I know
names,
these people,
maybe.
and they're solid Christian people, and strong believers, and so I gotta say, I don't know. I've never had one.
Trust them. Yeah.
I trust these people.
Could it be?
It's hard to trust anyone that knows for sure anything that they have never experienced.
Right.
That
Could it be
it's
similar
weird.
to the dream and vision? That
Could
whole
be.
thing? Kind of. They were in this. Either.
Well, you say near death, but
Well,
so
how
one
they talk
actually
about
was
that, where
clinically dead.
Clinically dead, and then they say
then
they come back
yeah,
saying they have seen.
right.
So
Yeah.
there's that book about that little boy
Yeah,
who died, and then he said he went to heaven.
yeah.
He saw.
7 minutes in heaven? Or
Yeah,
something
he
like
said
that?
he saw a kid that he was claimed to be his brother, but he never had a sibling, and he came back and he mentioned this to his parents and mentioned the name, and it was one that they had either died in childbirth
Oh,
or
man. Yeah.
miscarriage or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But they had named this baby, kind of like,
Yep.
and so that's kind of strange,
It's like how do you argue with
right?
that?
And it's a kid, you're probably more likely to believe that.
Right.
I don't know.
It's I can't say that's ridiculous because do you really know? Again, is there something explicit in Scripture that says no? That's ridiculous. Like,
Right.
I mean, the flip side of that is Lazarus. I mean, we have an example of someone dead,
Yep.
and the John Chris joke about this is a great story for everyone except Lazarus. I think they're testing the heart start machine over there, AED. Right? Have you heard that joke? John Chris talks about how
I
like
think so.
everyone's so sad, and then Jesus, shows up and like calls them out, and then it's a great story for everyone except Lazarus, who's chilling in heaven in his mansion. And there's like, Lazarus,
You're heading back.
this has never happened before, but yeah, you got to go back.
It's funny.
Yeah, but I mean, so yeah, it's Jesus, and it's a miracle. There's a reason why I call it a miracle, because it goes outside of our realm of reality or expectation or
Or
what we
even
can explain.
capacity to
To do. But well, I don't know. Some disciples seem to have that authority. Paul revived the kid that he bored to death.
the one that fell out of the.
He was listening to Paul talk
Fell out
and
the
fell
window.
fell asleep
Or,
and fell
yeah.
out the window on the third
Yeah.
story and fell to his death. And then
Well,
Paul
Peter-
revived him and made him go keep listening.
Was it
Come
Peter,
back up. I'm not
Peter
done.
that healed the paralytic and
Yeah.
he went walking and leaping, and
Yeah.
praising God?
Right.
Yeah.
So they had some of that authority. But anyway, that there's evidence in Scripture to say that that's possible. Is there something that says no, that's ridiculous?
Right.
So I know it feels uncomfortable, because I think we come face to face with the reality that there's something bigger than what we can see and feel here. And when someone says, I had a out-of-body experience, or I was dead and I saw God and then they brought me back to life, it's like, okay, I mean, we put it through the grid of like, is this person a grifter? Are they trying to make money on a book or a movie on their story? Because that definitely happens. But if it's someone you know and trust, it's like, well, why am I going to say you're wrong?
I have no reason to
Right.
doubt you.
Right.
Right. And what
So-
can you gain from
Yeah.
lying to me or whatever? Yeah. I mean, all these things, to me, most of them they're in this big box of mystery. Because God has to be a mystery to us still.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how old you are, how long
Yeah.
you've been following Jesus, if he is no longer a mystery, there's something problem with that. And we either have exceeded, our ego has gotten too big, or we're not searching hard enough,
Yeah.
or we're not looking enough, or we're not examining things deep enough. But I'm content with any of these things that I just brought up,
Yeah.
having zero answer to know definitively
Yeah.
anything, and let it continue to be a mystery, because that's one of the most fascinating things about God is he's such a mystery.
The two things I know about all this stuff is, one, there are people who take advantage of most of these things for their own gain, whether it's financial or pride or power or whatever.
Status, yeah.
And that seems to be prevalent, I guess, or common, I should say. And then the other side is there are people who are so hardened in their belief and understanding of how God has to operate. And like when you go to that extreme and say, "Good, no, God has to," it's like, okay, stop.
Sure.
Like it's God.
We shouldn't presume to know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot we know about him, but yeah, there's a whole mystery in the middle. And
Take the mystery box.
take the mystery box. Yep.
What's in the box? They do this thing on Wednesday night with the youth called "What's in the Box."
Yeah.
And Kim Kringen puts these three kind of hints together, and the kids have to guess, write their answer on a piece of paper, and put it in a little secret box, and then yeah, it's kind of fun.
Kim's a budding comedian, by the way.
Yeah.
He's been writing material.
Really?
Yeah. At least he wrote one thing. off of an experience, something that happened to him at his office. Hey, maybe he's told you. Have him tell you about it.
I'll have
It's
to
just
ask him.
it's really funny.
I'll have to, I
And
have to
then-
call him up anyways to get my boat insured.
Well, he called me to tell me about it right away. He's like, I had to talk to someone about this. What had just happened, and like his thought behind it, and it's hilarious. But then, like a few minutes later, I get a text, and it's all like written out, like fine tuning, and
It's hilarious.
you know, yeah. I'm like, you write material, man?
So the last one is, how should Christians feel about
I don't know.
Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets?
One step closer to the Vikings. That's hey, he's a
crazy,
believer,
huh?
man. You're gonna have to,
What?
isn't he?
Says who?
Him?
Says him?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Fair enough. See you in heaven, Aaron.
You're gonna have to spend eternity with him.
See you in heaven.
Yeah. My dad is hilarious, and I remember one time, a long time ago, there was a certain celebrity who, honestly, I can't even remember who, but had become a Christian, a believer, and was like, we saw her in an interview, and it was someone that he could not stand from like years before, and his comment was like, guess I'm going to have to ask God if I could spend eternity somewhere else, because I don't want to spend it with her.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. That's funny. Of course he was
Yeah.
joking.
That was all the ones that I had. So
Good.
that was kind of fun.
That's fun. Interesting stuff. Hey, Mike, if you want to
Chime
correct us where we're
Yeah.
wrong, I know you feel free to, and you will. But please do.
in. We don't need to talk about baseball. Everybody's getting hurt.
I know. And
Did you see Robbie Ray? Oh, that's
Gone.
right. You texted me that.
I had him.
I finally had to drop him. I drafted him for you.
I
I'm
know.
sorry about that.
That's okay. It's good while it lasted.
You should check the waiver wire on that league to see if there's a couple of these other pitchers that, like Tanner Bybee.
Yeah, probably not. These guys are all
It's pretty savvy.
all
I still have a
prospects
log
and
into your
everything.
account. I should go in there and just
Go
check
for
it
it.
out sometime.
I've been
Let's
slacking.
talk about some stuff that's coming up here at Northridge in the next couple weeks, month.
News and events. News and
Oh, we
events.
even got a song. Greg has a song for this section.
News. I'm just playing. We gotta be quick. Check the website for any information because Tammy gets it right on there.
We got to be quick because
We
you got to
get it
go,
wrong.
right?
Yeah, I gotta go baseball practice in a few minutes.
Okay.
But a big one coming up. Registration opens for VBS.
May 1st.
That's next week. Is that Monday? Is there 30 days in April? Or 31?
30. 30 days has September, April, June, and
I don't
November.
know I don't know that song.
All the rest of it, 30. It's not a
So I have a calendar.
song.
Whatever it is. I don't know it. I knew you were going to do that. People always do that little riddle
Well,
rhyme
I do it
song.
for my sake.
I know.
not for
No,
your
I get
sake.
it. I just don't know it. And I'm not going to learn it because I'd rather say I don't know it. Yep, 30 days. So
what
that's
I
Monday
just
morning.
said. Yeah, 30.
Wake up early Monday morning. if
Get
you have
registered.
children and register for VBS. It's always awesome.
And you can
This one
also
looks like it's going to be stellar.
you can also
You huffed, shrugged, and rolled your eyes all in one thing, and it looked like my daughter.
now I'm being compared to your
Yeah,
daughter, huh?
That Riley gives me that treatment all the time.
You can sign your kids up and you can sign up to help.
Yes, absolutely.
Both of those things open May 1st. It will be a stellar week.
It will. And let me say, you're not signing up to help. You're signing up to have an awesome experience too,
Right.
because it's so much fun.
Right.
You're not like, oh, I got to help the kids. It's like you could be a kid for a week. I mean, it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I just got asked last night to do the closing thing again.
Sweet. Closing time.
Yep.
Closing time. That's a bar song, right?
You gotta
That's
go.
like-
You can't stay. You gotta. Don't have to
go home, but you can't stay here.
Yeah.
It's always awesome.
Elementary.
I can't believe it's summer, dude. I mean, it's like fake winter still out.
Yeah.
Kinda-
Well, I mean, it's
not too
supposed to
bad.
get up to 60 today. right?
Last couple days haven't been horrible, but we've
Yeah.
had a rough spring. Like, just has not been very springy.
Yeah. The snow. The snowfall after Easter really ticked me off.
Yeah,
I was upset.
yeah. I still have a decent little mound in the front yard from where it's the
Snow?
plow.
You still have snow left?
Yeah,
I
from
don't
because we get the end of a turn, like where the plow piles it up. It was so much, and it's northern exposure, so it only like gets sun
Northern
from
Exposure. Wasn't that a
backside.
TV show?
Yeah, it was.
Um,
Yeah, graduate Sunday the following
yep,
week.
we're going to be honoring graduates May 7th, Sunday.
That'll be out here. We're not doing like the dinner thing that we've done. In the last
No,
couple
we will
years.
have them in the service, though.
Right, and then they'll have stuff out here,
I
or
don't
we're
know
gonna have
what they're
treats.
gonna-
I think
I
out
don't
here,
know
and
what
we'll
they're
honor them in the service. Yeah, there's a good group of kids graduating. Good job graduating, kids.
Yeah, congrats.
Andy, fun fact: Andy did not graduate high school. That's not fun, nor is it a fact. Why is that? All right.
Why is that a
Class of
97?
getting old.
Not as old as you.
I graduated in '93. That's a smaller number than '97. So.
What else we got, Greg?
Real Youth Retreat, Covenant Pines.
Yep.
May 12th through 14th.
Friday through Sunday. They do get back. I know it's Mother's Day, but they do get back. The goal is to get back by the time the service is over, so you don't have to leave and come back and pick your students up.
Yeah.
So
Dads, what greater gift to your wife than to send your teenager away for the weekend for her to celebrate Mother's Day?
they'll be back for Mother's Day.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, she'll get most of the weekend, and then you just
Well,
dump them on her.
Mother's Day is only Sunday.
I know. I'm just joking. It's also fishing opener, which that weekend, right? Isn't it? Always
Yeah,
that
I'm going to try to go up to my mom's that weekend.
Oh, you're going to take the blessing
Take
up
the
to your
ta-
mom? To your mom's?
Yeah.
The That's
yeah.
always been hilarious to me, though. That fishing opener is Mother's Day's weekend because like
Wasn't that
guys all leave and
2 years ago?
it
Every
was
once
it
in a
was
wh-
off like by 1 week or something.
Yeah, every once in a while it gets off. It gets
Yeah.
kind of different, but majority of the years it's on Mother's Day weekend.
But then I know a lot of ladies around here that like going fishing too. So
Yeah.
I just think it's just funny.
And a lot of women, a lot of moms, they just want the day to themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
kind of-
Here's I believe I talk about this every year. I think I
Dads
did
like to
last-
grill, women like to go out to eat.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Also, Mother's Day is one of our biggest Sundays in church, typically, because
Really?
moms, we're going to church. I want the family to go to church together.
Well, that was always my dad's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he always
That's-
wanted us to go
Father's
to
Day
church
is typically lower. I mean, it's in summer, later in summer, but still, it's kind of like, let's take it easy this
Yeah,
morning.
let's-
Maybe go get
Let's
breakfast.
grill some breakfast,
Yeah.
grill some lunch, and grill some dinner.
No, my thing is always Mother's Day is this. Honey, I've planned this nice day or weekend or whatever for you to just relax without the kids. Or if you ask them, what do you want for Mother's Day? I just want some time alone. Just to relax, go get a pedicure or whatever.
Go to the spa.
Go get
Is
coffee
that
with
what
a
Jordan is
friend,
like?
whatever.
Or does she like being with everybody?
No, her default would be, let me sleep in, and let me just have some
Alone time?
alone time, get a coffee or get whatever or something.
Like, let me be out in the world by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's what happens on Father's Day. Now I'm speaking for it. Now the wife says, "Hey, honey, for Father's Day, I planned this activity for you to do with the kids."
So it's like
Well,
Mother's
it's like
Day
Mother's Day part
2.0.
2. Yep. Yeah. That's what happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
This will be fun for you to do with the kids. Yeah. That's an overgeneralization, but it's funny.
I'll take you fishing on Father's Day if you
Yeah.
want instead.
All right.
So,
The blessing.
all right. Well, that's about it. There's
Yeah. Check out the calendar. Check
child
out the news.
dedications. If you have a child that you want to dedicate, you can pick a couple days there.
Meet the
Is-
pastors if you're
Pastors
new
is
around.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I mean,
Do you have to sign up for that?
yeah, you're supposed to RSVP register,
There's
but
no link.
if you want to get in there, there isn't. I just noticed that.
No,
if you want to
there's
get
no
in there,
link.
you can. So,
Is that supposed to not be that way?
yeah, I'll look at it.
Okay. There was also something I was supposed to talk to Tammy about that I can't remember what that was for. Came out of our meeting yesterday.
I don't remember either,
Yeah.
but I feel like,
the recipients of the I said yes to Jesus link on the.
oh yeah,
that's
the
right.
email.
Other than that, we're wrapping up the year. You'll hear more about our Celebration Sunday, which is the first weekend in June. The big thing about that is we're going to have service here where we're going to just reflect back on the year, honor and thank some people. Then we're going to go out to, are we going back out to
Land of Promise.
Land of Promise?
Yep.
And have a huge picnic and do some baptisms in the lake. And, actually, this year I could bring my boat and do video from the boat.
That'd be such a blessing. It'd be such a blessing.
You're hilarious. So if you're interested in getting baptized, I know we just had some for Easter, but we're going to do another. We're going to open it up again for this June.
Yep.
And then I believe we'll probably open it up again. We're going to be doing family camping trip again.
I think so.
Yeah. And so we'll have two times this summer opportunities for you to get baptized in lakes. So if you're interested, talk to one of the pastors about getting baptized this summer. I'd love to talk to you about that. If you have any questions, email us, office@nrf.life. Click on the links on the About with the staff pages for emails for either Greg or myself or Tammy. However you need to get a hold of us. If you need anything, have any prayer requests, just let us know. We'd love to talk to you, love to connect with you. And we hope to see you this weekend.
Yeah.
All right? Say goodbye, Greg.
Goodbye, Greg.
Good night, Ned.